Last week, I told you that we had 6 weeks until the federal government runs out of money and goes into default, but I was wrong. The new estimate by the Treasury Department is that we have 3 weeks, and we are no closer to a deal. But a new path to resolving this just opened up, and it's a bit of a long shot, but it's possible. This new path, it's only worked a few times in the last 50 years. It's rare and complicated and would involve at least 5 Republicans voting with all the Democrats, which is why it's a long shot. But to be honest with you, it's starting to feel like long shots may be what we have left. So here it is. Normally, the Speaker has all the power over what comes to a vote and what doesn't. If the Speaker doesn't like a bill, it doesn't move. But there's an escape hatch. It's there so that if the majority of the House wants to vote on a bill, but the Speaker doesn't, the majority can force a vote. It's called a discharge petition. So the Democrats have initiated the escape hatch protocol for a bill that would lift the debt ceiling and avoid default. But Democrats are in the minority by 5 votes, so for this to work, you would need 5 Republicans to sign on. And you can imagine what life would be like for those 5 Republicans were they to sign on. That would be a rough week for them. Of course, they would be strongly condemned by the Speaker. But here's the crazy part of this whole scenario. My sense is that in private, the Speaker would be incredibly relieved that they went around it. It gets him off the hook. We don't default, and he gets to remain as Speaker because he doesn't have to do any compromise that would really upset his right flank. If it happens, I'm sure he will kick and scream, and then he will shut the door and thank his lucky stars. But the fact is, the only way this could work is if we get to the last minute and nothing else has. But the last minute is rapidly approaching. We're only scheduled to be in session for 12 days between now and when they say we could default. That's not much time. For those who say you've heard all this before, debt ceiling, default, last minute deals to avoid disaster, you're right. We have. And we will probably figure this out. But given the severity of the consequences, the odds of default should be 0, and they are not. This is going to be a close call, and I will keep you posted.